Hey, Miss One here with some tips for supporting your child at home with their writing. The first one is avoid giving answers. That's the biggest difficulty that lots of adults have with supporting kids in writing. Me too, all the time. Our initial response is to want to give answers, right? But what we need to do is encourage them to use strategies, use tools, and use thinking processes for figuring out problems on their own. So, if your child is having a hard time with the word, refer them to their folder. Say, hey, look in your folder. So, folder resources. Inside their folder, they have their word wall with all their snap words. They have their ABC chart. They have their checklists, etc. Also, if they're having a hard time spelling a word, encourage them to stretch for sounds. So stretch the word down your arm and ask them questions like, what sound do you hear at the beginning? What do you hear in the middle? What do you hear in the end? Again, we're not striving for perfect conventional writing. We're striving for kids to hear as many sounds as they can and write what they hear. The next tip is to have your child touch and tell. This is a planning strategy. So before they even begin writing their book or their page for the day, have them tell you the sentence that they're going to write, and then proceed to touch the page and tell what words they want to say. So for example, I'm going to pull out my All About Spiders book that I'm working on. I'm going to go to an empty page and say that my plan for the day was to write spiders make webs, right? So that's my sentence. Then I'm going to touch and tell the page, spiders make webs. Just like that. It's a really helpful planning tool, gets kids really organized. The next tip is to reread your writing, like a lot, like all the time. So once a kiddo is finished writing a sentence, have them reread it. Sometimes when you're done writing a sentence, you notice that you missed a word or you missed a sound. Have them reread even after they write a single word. Sometimes kids in their planning forget what their next word will be, and so going back and rereading from the beginning helps them continue on to the next word. And then the last tip I have for you today is, and this is a question I ask in my classroom all the time, is do writers ever say I'm done and quit? Well, the answer is no. So if your child is like flying through a book and they tell you, I'm all done, I encourage you to stop them and say, okay, well, can you reread your writing to see if they missed anything? Can they look at their checklist and see if they've gotten all the parts? And then when all of that's said and done, see if they can add more. We use this sign, add more. And that is just me or my way of encouraging them to add more to the words. Is there another sentence you could write? Add more to the picture. Could you write more labels? Or could you add a setting, add more color? So the goal is for them to slow down, take time, and create clear, organized, neat work that others can read, right? Okay, so I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions for me at all regarding anything learning-wise, but writing in particular, please give me a call, text, email. I'm happy to answer. Happy writing. Thanks, guys.